Welcome to the Missouri Healthy Schools Podcast Live. My name is Guy Danhoff, and I'll be your host over the next 45 minutes or so. As tonight we have a very special podcast to kick off the 2024-2025 school year. As tonight we're going to talk about the Missouri Crunch Off, and my guests is going to be Lisa Farmer, or Lisa Lauer, as it's written there on the sheet. We're going to have Barbara Shaw. We're going to have Tracy Minnis. We're also going to have Trey Wilson and Teresa McAdams, and we're really excited that you're all here to join us as we're going to get started. And we're going to get started right now as we do this. And this is our first podcast of the school year, and there I am. So welcome to everyone. Like I said, today we're going to talk about the Missouri Crunch Off, and without further ado, we're going to bring on our first guest. I want to bring in Lisa Farmer. You couldn't have a better name for this kind of activity. So without further ado, here's Lisa Farmer. Lisa, this was your brainchild. How are you?
I am great. Hello, Guy. It's so good to see you. Be back on camera with you. It's been a minute. Yes, I think we've been asking to do a podcast on the Crunch Off for quite a while. Missouri started participating in the Crunch Off in 2019. If you want to share the slide, I'll tell a little bit of background.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
Yep.
There we go.
I'm with the Department of Health and Senior Services. I'm a senior nutritionist, and I also work as the nutrition lead on our Missouri Healthy Schools grant and also our Missouri Physical Activity and Nutrition grant, both from CDC. So the Crunch Off is an annual event, and we participate in the Mountain Plains region Crunch Off. You can see these are the states that are in our region. And so it's a friendly competition between these states, and it's counted per capita. So Missouri has a little bit tougher road than the other states because we do have the largest population. And so we just wanted to meet with you on a podcast and share the story and see if we could get some more students, teachers, faculty, co-workers, community members to join the Crunch. It is an opportunity to celebrate local during the month of October, which is National Farm to School Month. And it gives folks the time to celebrate local and crunch into a local product, be it produce, something that's grown in the state of Missouri. And you can see on this slide, we have multiple state agencies, MU Extension, participating and supporting and planning. There's a QR code to scan to register for the Crunch Off, because if people don't register their crunch, we can't count their crunch. And that is what we really want to happen.
Okay, so with that, Lisa, where do we go next? Because I know that, what do we mean by how to find a farmer?
Well, in our next slide, we have a couple ways for you, for those listening, to find local. Looking for local. There is, through the Missouri Department of Ag, there's a Missouri Grown website. It's a great, helpful resource. But another great resource and place to find local is your local farmers market. And if people use the address there, farmers market at mda.mo.gov, and send a email or a message saying, I'm looking for local in Sykeston or Cole County or whatever town you're in, they will help you find farmers, producers that are looking for schools, early care sites, any other stakeholders, institutions interested in purchasing local.
Well, that sounds pretty exciting. So what we'd want to do next, I'll let you kind of tee up our next guest. And that's going to be obviously Trey. And talk to us a little bit about Trey, because he's got a really interesting spin to this whole thing with the farmers. So why don't you go ahead and give a little background on Trey as we bring him in.
Oh my gosh, Trey Wilson with Apple Ridge Orchard is in the Sykeston area, and we met him at our Bringing the Farm to School training, and he's just so invested in local and selling to schools and early care sites and community, and we're just so happy to meet him because he knows everyone. He's wonderful down there in Sykeston. And Trey, I'm gonna let you talk a little bit before to share your story and what's going on in Sykeston and Apple Ridge.
Yeah. Thanks. That was really nice. Nice things to say. I'm not used to hearing such nice things. We have Apple Ridge Orchard. We're first year with an orchard as far as our first generation, and so we've been row crop farming since 1887. So we've been row crop farming for a long time. But our first generation with the orchard business, and we started 3 years ago, and we love it. It's completely family run. My wife is actually out in the field as we speak, planting our next strawberry crop. So I've got a feeling I'm going to have to give her a foot rub when she gets home tonight, because I'm in trouble because I'm here playing on the podcast. But we started doing, the selling school systems last year, and it worked out great. We had several school systems come in. Some wanted the produce pre-picked. Some school systems came in and they'd send some of the teachers and cafeteria workers out, and they would pick for the schools. So that was good. And of course we did field trips. We do a whole lot of field trips, which is actually my favorite. I tell everyone, during raspberry season, during blackberry season, we were given a field trip, and these kids, they were all first, second, third grade probably, and they were out running around the blackberry field, and I tell them, like, okay guys, pick the blackberries, because those are the ones that were ripe. Don't get the red ones. And this one little guy came running up to me, and his face was completely red, and I looked down at him. I said, "You okay?" And he looked up at me and said, "Farmer Trey, these are the best blackberries I've ever had." And he just had red blackberries all over him. And I didn't have the heart to tell him that no, they're not the best he's ever had, because they're not ready yet. But he thought they were, so it was okay, But we do quite a bit of like the field trip side. Now we're just getting into the as of last year, selling directly to school systems, and I do like that, because as a farmer, I'm proud of what I do, and I'm proud of what I produce. And so I like knowing that what I produce goes to a school system, because a lot of the kids in some of the local schools don't know what fresh food is. And so that kind of makes me feel good to get to teach them, something, let them know that food doesn't have to come from a box in a grocery store. They can get something a little bit or a lot healthier, and that helps support the local community. So I'm a huge advocate of it.
So Trey, specifically, what has been your vision for this? Because I know this is a newer program, but talk to us about your vision and what you're hoping is going to be the impact of this initiative.
Okay. This really ties into what we started with. We started planting this orchard 8 years ago. It took us a couple of years to get everything going. And so we just started planting 4 years ago, because we wanted to do something that would involve local, obviously local population, but really have an orchard directed towards younger people, school age people, because like I said earlier, people that age don't know where the food comes from.
Right.
So this ties directly into what we tried doing at the very beginning, which was getting the local children involved and teaching them about not just agriculture, but health, why these products are healthier than something that you may get off a storage shelf. Because, some of the stuff that's at the grocery store may not be grown quite the right way. And so, but I know what I grow is. And
Right.
so it's, well, there's a lot, there's a lot of debate there, but I know it's grown as best as it can be. And so that's why this program in particular really ties into our initial statement of what we were trying to do with the orchard.
That is just really exciting. And obviously, we're going to want to have you come back, in a future episode so that we can get, more of the impact part of it and any data you can share. And right now, you're in a few school districts and you're looking to grow that. Is that the plan?
Definitely. Most of the crops that we grow come off during summertime.
Okay.
When school's not in session, all the blueberries and the blackberries and stuff like that.
Right.
Now we do have strawberries in the spring, is what we had some success with last year. And our apple trees we will start fruiting them in 2025. So we haven't even had a chance to get the apples into the school systems. But that's one of our main goals next year, is to do that. And we've more than doubled our planting this year. So in 2026, we'll have even more. So yeah, that'll be exciting. I'll be happy to see that. And
yeah, Lisa, any final question for Trey?
Well, I have a comment because Trey, I loved your story so much about the not quite ripe, but delicious blackberries. And that to me relays the story of farm to school and what we know about the fact that if children have the opportunity to plant or choose or go out into the field and pick fruits and vegetables, they're much more likely to taste them. And obviously they like them. And maybe he liked tart things, but he was also out there experiencing it and having so much fun. And we've been to your farm, Guy. This is an on the move right here.
Okay, gotcha.
Is an on the move going to Trey's, and he has your apple trees are actually micro orchards, so it's a pretty cool thing that is up and coming. So
Lisa, you're exactly right. Part of, and I know it's like I'm talking about myself, so this isn't an ad for Trey Wilson. But what we have found is that when we do field trips, we'll give them a little solo cup, a little bit of soil in it, let them plant a marigold seed or something that they can take home with them and water and nurture and grow. So they learn how to grow something, learn what a seed is and how soil and water interacts, because we give a little seminar and talk to them. And then we let them to go out to the field and they get to pick their own produce depending on the time of year it is. And it's a highly educational aspect. Right. But the kids don't realize they're learning anything because they're having fun. They think they're out in a field, playing and chasing crickets and watching birds fly around and eating food. They don't realize all of the stuff that they're actually absorbing, because as well as I do, kids that age absorb everything. Mm-hmm. I wish I was half as smart as some of these, younger, school age kids, because they just absorb everything like a sponge. And so that's what makes us really, really happy. Is it just, like I said, getting them out, letting them learn something, maybe get a little sunburn, maybe, get a little windburn, get them off the iPads and off the PlayStation or whatever it is, And so it's, let them get Mother Nature and have fun with it. And so, like I said, that's where this program fits into what we wanted to do from day one. Right. It's perfect. It really is. It's a perfect fit for us.
Yeah.
And I say that it would be a perfect fit for anybody in my realm, because you got to remember, I think I'm the sixth generation row crop farmer in my family, first generation orchardist. And so there's a big difference. I can't take these kids out to my cornfield. I can take them out to a soybean field or out to a cotton field, but I can take them here and let them learn something. It's really it's a totally different type of farming, and it's good for the kids. It's good for everybody, really.
And we need more farmers
Yeah.
getting into this. We need more local food for schools.
As long as they're not right next door, I don't want any competition.
Well, exactly.
Right.
Yeah. Well, Trey, we want to thank you for sharing here on the podcast. And Lisa's already put the challenge out. That means we're going to bring our cameras with us. We're going to bring our lights.
Let's do it.
And we'll bring our appetites, it sounds like.
Yes.
And we'll try whatever we need to try. But yeah, no, it's really cool. We do these really 2-minute special videos where we're going to highlight the work that you're doing. We'll go behind the scenes and you can really educate us on some things. And hopefully there might be some students that could be there too that we could interview and get their reaction. But it's really one of our favorite things that we do on the media side here at Missouri Healthy Schools.
Perfect. Yep. Welcome anytime.
All right. Thank you for coming on, my friend. We'll bring you back at the end.
All right. Thank you, guys.
All right. Well, Lisa, I don't know about you, but I'm just feeling all warm and fuzzy. And now, yes, we have to put on the calendar that we're going to be making a trip out to see his farm.
Yes.
So with that, let's transition to the crunch stories and experience. We're going to start with you, and then we'll bring on our next guest. So talk to us about your crunch story.
Oh my gosh. We have done so many crunches. There you can host a virtual crunch. You can host a live crunch. We've got a couple stories. Our first story is Teresa McAdams with Western Elementary, and she is a faithful cruncher. They have been doing crunch offs since they began, Teresa.
I'm not certain of the actual start date.
I think 2020. If not before.
Possibly.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. And Teresa, let's just give everyone a background on you. You are the food service director, as well as a yearly crunch participant with the Restaurant R1 School District. And again, just as Lisa's been talking about their experiences, what have been, your experiences and any of your favorite crunch stories that you want to share with us?
Well, we were fortunate enough to be able to participate and have, our own local produce.
Yeah.
We've gotten it through and participated with fruit that we've gotten from USDA packet through the FFVP program.
Okay.
And then, more farm to school. And I started a school garden. And the kids grew, and I cooked and served them what they grew. And so I might mention to Trey, too. He might think about pumpkins. But, hey, listen, I've got a killer pumpkin hummus recipe. It's got a little chipotle in it, and then it's got a little kick. But it's good stuff. So anyway, last year, we have some friends that have a family farm and also a hunting lodge, and they have a Bartlett pear tree in their yard, and it was loaded. And their dog is a black lab named Jack, and he loves the pears. He stole one. My granddaughter had one. She was eating on it, and she held it behind her back so he wouldn't get it. Well, he went behind her and grabbed it right out of her hands, and he ate it. But anyway, that was our entire crunch last year, was these pears. And this year, and it's not the first year that the kids have eaten them, but this year we're going to use the apples from our middle school tree that's in the schoolyard. I was just up there a little bit ago because I'd been talking to Lisa about it and was checking on them. And I also found a crabapple tree there, and there's a pawpaw tree there, which when I was cooking at the middle school, I found those and I brought them in and let the kids taste them.
Yeah.
And they had a good time doing that. It's funny how I approached them. I would just walk out and say, hold the tray up, and I said, hey, I've got something here. Would you like to try it? And the hands just went up. They just automatically did.
Yeah.
But the key one was when they got to eat and help prepare, pick, grow, maintain, and learn about all of these things that they grew and what was growing right in front of them that none of us even knew was in the outdoor classroom.
Wow.
Guy, do you want to share the slide with some of the?
Yeah, I'll bring it up right now. I'll let you guys talk to it. There we go.
Because Teresa.
So what are we looking at here?
Well, you've got 3 different buildings. We've got the elementary school and the high school and the middle school, and they all participated. I went and picked these pears and delivered them to all the buildings. And the kids at the elementary, they stuck them on their fork and ate them like a lollipop. I mean, it was just fun.
That's fun.
And then, but I told them, I said, some of them were a little standoffish because they're not perfect like what you see at the grocery store, all waxed up and polished. I said, they've got a few mars and scars on them. But I said, so do we as people, that doesn't mean we're not good on the inside. Well, that sold them. It was good stuff. Good moment.
That is excellent, Teresa. And I just want to pause for just a quick moment. If you're watching live right now, you have the ability to go into we have comment area because this is being broadcasted on our YouTube channel. If you want to make a comment or if you'd like to pose a question to us, we would love to have you engage and interact with us. And just feel free. It's real simple to do because you're already on our YouTube channel and you can go ahead and just type in the comments again. You can make a comment or you can certainly ask us a question and be happy to field that for you again right now as we are live broadcasting right now. So Teresa, I think we have one more slide. Is that correct, Lisa?
This is our early care and education slide.
Okay.
These are our youngest crunchers. So I love this slide because it shows what creative things our early care sites in Missouri have done. And this is from a site in the St. Louis area. And you can see that that little guy really loves his crunchy carrot. And I don't know if you can see, they did it over the rainbow crunch taste test. And you can see all the different bowls with the different vegetables that they tasted.
Yeah.
And I included the 2 at the bottom because not only did they taste, but they do, starting with Johnny Appleseed's birthday, they do many activities, and they select a crunch king and crunch queen. And
oh my gosh, love it.
At the bottom,
too fun.
Is so fun. Yeah, and it just gets once again everyone excited, everyone trying things, and we invited Teresa because she has so many great ideas. And Guy, I need to tell you, when she talked about her pumpkin hummus recipe, she is a recipe guru, and she actually won the National Canned Pear Association recipe contest.
Yeah, the Pacific Northwest Canned Pear Contest.
Yes,
wow.
Thank you. And she won $1,500 for first prize. I mean, this is a national competition.
Wow.
Yeah, kind of blew me away too. Well, it did. It wasn't as big as the other, but I won an award from a School Meal Hero Award from ConAgra too, and that was great. Also, it's just because I care.
Absolutely. And Teresa, I want to ask this question. It'll be our final question for you. But, again, I asked this of Trey. I'll ask it of you. What's your vision moving forward with this? Because you've been part of almost every one of these. Where do you see this thing moving forward?
Oh, well, I'm inviting the farmers in. I would love to feed these kids local.
Yeah.
Wow. It would be great to have kids love chicken on a bone. It doesn't have to be processed into something unidentifiable or in the shape of a boot or whatever.
Right.
And let them let them grow their own. And I'm even working towards that with some of our staff. I run short on kitchen help. And I think I'm working with our fax teacher, and she's gotten in the health department, and we've gotten the kids in to get their food handler certificates, some of the high school kids.
Nice.
And then we let them work in the kitchen some too, to help with prep or cleanup or what have you. And some of these kids, are not maybe college bound, but this will give them a skill that they can earn some money and move forward with.
Absolutely.
I planted that seed. I hope it grows too.
That's awesome. Teresa, we just want to thank you so much for your work, your contributions, your motivation, your inspirations, and certainly congratulations on your recipe awards. And yes, we are going to hound Trey. Well, at least I know I won't, but I know Lisa will. So we'll get that. Hopefully we'll get that pumpkin challenge. We might even find out before the end of the show's this broadcast is over. So when we bring it back
throw
up,
down the gauntlet.
Yeah, we'll throw down the gauntlet.
Let's grow together.
Exactly. Well, Teresa, we want to thank you so much for bringing it back at the end, but thank you so much for being here with us tonight. So, Lisa, wow. Can you believe that? That story, again, just like Trey's, has moved me, and it just goes to show the impact we can have if you have a vision, if you're creative, and really connecting the farmers and getting students really understanding what's going on when you talk about farm to school, growing things right there in your own school district. I know that you visit a lot of schools in Missouri doing this. I know you've been out also on a road trip outside of Missouri. So you got a pretty good handle on this. And kind of from your perspective, where do you see this going?
Oh gosh. Well, we've been planning our team, the team that you saw on the first slide.
Yeah.
All of the state agencies and things. We were really planning and hoping to take this to the next level where more and more schools are able and willing to purchase produce, because the taste and the nutrition difference is so great. And once kids try it and really have the opportunity, as Trey's story and Teresa's story, the stories just are so moving and heartwarming. And that's why I've been wanting to spread the news about this crunch, and we really, just hope to keep growing the crunch. And I'm excited to hear from our next guest to tell her story and where the crunch is going. She is one of the co-leaders of the 2024 crunch.
All right, let's bring her on. Without further ado, Tracy, how are you?
I'm great. Thank you so much for having me on. I'm excited to be here.
We're excited that you're here. And with that, why don't you go ahead and tell us just a little bit, about yourself. Obviously, we know that you are the local foods coordinator for the MU extension, but tell us a little bit more about, kind of your day-to-day or the big initiatives related to the crunch.
Okay, so I do work for MU Extension. I've been the local foods coordinator for about 2 years now. And prior to that, I was a SNAP educator with our family nutrition education program. And so I got in on the crunch about 2021 and held my first crunch as a nutrition program associate. And I was hooked because I'm all about local. And so, Teresa, you were very inspiring to listen to. It was a lot of fun to hear your story. And so when I stepped into this role, the crunch off was really something that I was looking forward to help coordinate and get moving. And so I tried really hard to rally around all the nutrition educators that I could, because they're already in the schools across the state. And so we have led some pretty large events within Extension and also with the help of our partners. And it's been a lot of fun. So if you don't mind bringing up the slide, I'll kind of talk
Yeah.
about our biggest event we did last year.
Here we go. There you go.
Okay. So in 2023, we were able to pull off a crunch at Faroe Field at not one, but two of the football games. There was 2 October games. And when I started the conversation to get this going, I did it a little backwards. Like I got connected with the popcorn provider at the stadium first, and he went to Levy Foods to work with them to see if we could make this happen. And it was a lot of fun because not only, we also reached out to the athletic department, and they were all game. They're all excited to support local. And so we just had to get all the pieces put together of the puzzle put together to make it happen. And we served over 80,000 1-cup serving bags of Missouri grown popcorn between those 2 games. And so we captured a lot of crunches, and that really helped our crunch off effort. That's for sure. Because in 2022, we had less than 1% of our population crunching into local. We had roughly 43,000 crunches. And last year we were able to capture over 188,000 crunches. And I'm so proud of all my colleagues because we are organizing a lot of large events again this year. Not just, we're going to get to do the homecoming game again in this year on the 19th of October, but we have also organized a lot of other crunch offs on college campuses, at football, like local school football games, Halloween events, and it's just been a lot of fun. We've tripled our events that we've planned already just this year from what we had last year. And so that's exciting. It's been a lot of fun to be behind that and get that moving. And I work with a lot of great people. These pictures here, we did win an award from the Mountain Plains region last year because of our crunch off at the stadium, or crunch offs at the stadium. We won event of the year. And so we ended up 3rd place last year. We were 5th 2 years ago. We ended up 3rd last year. So I'm really hoping we can get at least 5% of our population to crunch into local this year, because we were about 3% last year. If we can get over 5% of our population this year, I think we'll have a really good chance of beating Nebraska, is what I'm hoping. So. And we are trying our best. So.
I'm a former football coach. You'd expect that talk out of me. I would not expect that out of a local foods coordinator, but I love it.
Well, it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy it.
So Tracy, talk to us a little bit about, the expectations, because this is just coming up next month. Next month is pretty quick. So give us a little overview of what's going to happen with this year's event certainly for the crunch competition.
Okay, so I'm just going to speak from the side of it because I've helped organize the MU Extension crunches, but our very first crunch off is scheduled for October 1st, and our very last one is scheduled for October 31st. And Lisa had mentioned earlier, literally anybody can crunch. It's all about capturing that crunch and registering it. And what we have discovered in our efforts, because we start in the summer and we start making connections, but there are so many local foods in the state of Missouri to get your hands on to crunch. And there's already a lot of crunching going on at pecan festivals and chestnut festivals and walnut festivals all through the month of October. It's just a matter of making that connection. There's a lot of local foods that are sold to, for one, the campus dining. They purchase local and serve local. But if we don't know that, we don't capture those crunches. So we're just really hoping not only all of the events that we've organized, but we're also hoping that we've made enough connections to capture the crunches that have gone uncounted for years. We're hoping to capture those this year. And then again, we are going to be at the stadium. We have secured 50,000 bags of popcorn to pass out. And we also pass out a postcard that explains, we thank the participant for crunching with us, and we explain what the crunch off is, and then we give them directions on how to hold their own crunch off. So if just the participants at the game would take that card home and just, if they go to the farmer's market on a Saturday and they buy produce and they serve it, with their evening meal that next week, that's a
Right.
crunch off. And so
Okay.
all they would have to do is scan the QR code and register it, and we would capture more crunches and hopefully beat Nebraska. So,
Well, and this is the website you're also talking about. So if someone wanted to go directly to it, this would be it, correct?
yes. Mhm.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
that website. Mhm.
yeah, I'll just leave it up for just, a few, for about 30 seconds so people can go register. Is there anything else you want to tell them about registering and how that works?
It's a very simple process. I do want to
Okay.
mention, and I didn't mention this earlier because Lisa had listed her email address, but if you go to the MU Extension website as well, we do have the QR code listed there that you can scan, and it'll send you straight to the registration link as well. So there's more than one way to find that information. But yeah, it's very simple. We've made it very simple, and the registration takes it doesn't take long at all, maybe a minute. Yeah. So maybe a couple minutes, but it'll help us beat Nebraska. So it's totally worth it. So,
Wow.
yeah.
Tracy, I love your enthusiasm. I just love your story and what you're doing, the impact you're making. I've been to Mizzou. That's a huge place. And to be able to kick it off there and now just trying to get it to grow all throughout Missouri is so exciting. And Lisa, I can now understand why Tracy had to be part of tonight's podcast. Because someone had to say we're going to beat Nebraska. Because I can't say it as the host of the show. That would be bias, right? But Tracy, we appreciate the fact that you said it because we know that Lisa thinks it 24/7.
Well, I do have to say it is a friendly competition. I think Nebraska is not going to be the hardest state to beat this year. Every MPRO, Mountain Plains Region state, has ramped up their game.
Yep.
So we're all in it to win it this year.
I love it for crunching off. It sounds like you're getting ready to go play in a college football bowl game the way you talk. I love
it. Yeah, bring it on.
It's the Crunch Bowl.
There you go.
There we go. Lisa, you might have coined something here. Seriously. Well, I'm going to throw this out to our live viewers. If you're watching live right now, if you want to make a comment or ask a question to Lisa or Tracy, feel free to do it. All you have to do is just type in your question in the comments. I'll be able to bring them onto the screen. And that's one of the nice things about having a live podcast is that you can engage with us. And so if you want to post something, that's great. Tracy, we want to thank you for being on. We love your enthusiasm. And we can't wait to see your pictures, obviously, after what's going to happen. Oh, here we go. We got a comment. Let's see what we got. Oh, here we go. So I'll go ahead and read this. The Uplift Connection says, nothing better than learning and being entertained at the same time. Well, that's because of Lisa and, of course, Tracy. I just host this thing. Love the stories and resources. Ready to visit Trey's farm. And Teresa, yes, we'll need the pumpkin hummus recipe. Go Missouri, you're all rock stars. I love it. And anyone knows my background, I literally am a rock star. So we're covering it all here. We do appreciate you saying that. And again, this is all done by a big family here that we are in Missouri. And this is why we wanted to put this podcast on for everyone. And thank you so much for making that comment. And see, Tracy, look what you started. See, just saying, go Missouri.
That's right, MIZ.
All right, so Tracy, want to thank
you
for coming on. We'll bring you on at the very, very end as we're getting near to the end of our podcast. But Lisa, no show would be complete without something really important that we are known for here at Missouri Healthy Schools, and that would be, of course, talking about the resources and the grants available. And I know that you asked someone very special to come on this evening. And it's just so ironic that she was on our podcast to end last year's school year, I think back in April or May. Could even been June. I just know the very last podcast we did. And I'll let you introduce our final guest. So with that, we're bringing on Barbara Shaw.
Yes, we are so excited to have Barbara on. We have been working together on all things local for quite some time. And she is the nutrition coordinator in our sister agency, Department of Elementary and Secondary Education. Barbara, take it away. All the good stuff that you've got to share. Oh. We can't hear you.
There we go. Good evening.
There we go. Okay. Whew.
Hi. Thank you. Thank you. My competitive blood is flowing. I'm ready to go. Let's get this Crunch Bowl going.
Exactly.
Every Crunch Bowl needs some good funding. That's kind of what I'm here to talk about.
You've got it. You've got it.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm here to talk about a grant that we have available, and we've had this grant available since May of 2023. And I just want to encourage every school that can apply for the grant. It is a local food for schools grant. So it's an LFS grant. And what this is a USDA cooperative grant. We secured over $1 million.
Wow.
And we have a limited time left in this grant. We have about a year. I don't like to send money back to the government. So please apply for the grant. But what this grant will help you do is purchase local. Food is more expensive, especially local food, and schools have a tight budget. That's one thing that I just like to be an advocate for is the resources and the funding for schools to purchase local, to purchase quality food, to purchase something that has been picked and grown 24 hours before the kids got to eat it. And it's not coming 1,600 miles away on an 18-wheeler that, was held in, special packaging and gassing and temperatures so that our kids can consume it. That's not, that's what we have, and that's what's available. And that's great. But when we have plentiful local options available, I think that's really what we need to be striving for. So we do have some funding available. We have not had funding available. And so that's why I'm super excited about this. And was exciting for state agencies to start seeing some money that we can distribute to schools to help them make these local purchases. And so that's what the Local Food for Schools grant does. It's super easy to apply. We have a training that Lisa, Department of Health, and MU Extension, Department of Agriculture, and also some other partner agencies that helped us to put together a training just on how to find a farmer, how to bring local into your school district. We touched on food safety. We touched on purchasing, just kind of the simple steps to go through to purchase this food. And so we do have a training available on our DESE, Department of Education, Food Nutrition Services website. And so we encourage you to watch that training. There is a Survey Monkey, and that is the application of how you apply. You complete the Survey Monkey, and then you need to write a plan. And the plan just goes over basically how you're going to spend the funds. We just need to know that you can find a farmer, or if you need help, we have all the resources to help you do that. And so this plan just kind of walks us through what it looks like on your end when we give you the funds, what it looks like on your end. Schools have the opportunity to get up to $25,000 to go towards local purchases. And then you just submit the plan to me at my email address, and that's on our website and on our checklist. And we review the plan with our team, kind of just, again, see if you need any assistance with purchasing or storage or distribution, and then we award you the funds. So it's not something that you have to turn invoices into us for. The funds are distributed and deposited right into your school food service account. And so that's super easy, but it's a great resource and funding available, and perfect timing because if you're gearing up for your Crunch event, these funds will help you to purchase apples, purchase any local items that you want to help move your Crunch event forward at your school district. So that's really all I have, and there is a QR code on the screen, and so you can click that QR code and it'll take you to the website.
Yeah, I'm just going to leave it up right now just for about 15 seconds. So if you want to scan it, you can. And I'll go ahead and bring everyone back. There we are. And then, Barbara, we just want to thank you so much for, being able to secure this amount of funding for this initiative. And yeah, I totally agree with you. There's no reason why we shouldn't be having Crunch Bowl moving forward. I know, Lisa, you got it. You nailed it tonight. You got the Crunch Bowl. I'm going to give you on that one.
Use that. We are running with it.
Crunch Bowl is in. It's going to be a hashtag.
That's our next marketing
hashtag
Crunch Bowl.
So, Lisa, what I think we'll do now is we'll bring everyone back on and let you kind of, wrap things up. But you do have to ask Trey, though, about the challenge on the pumpkin. Okay. So let's see what we get. Let's bring everyone back. Let's see. There he is. And we have everyone. Do we? Yes. Yeah. All right. So, Trey, the gauntlet has been dropped. Teresa is just said, you know what? Let's go. And what's your response to the pumpkin?
I already have 2 acres growing right now. I'm ready.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let's go. I can't cook, but if you can teach me, we'll figure it out.
I was going to say, could Teresa come out and make her pumpkin hummus?
Yes. Yeah.
That would be fun.
Yeah. Like I said, we've got a bunch of them growing right now. Just tell me how much you want, and we'll make it happen.
It don't take that much. We're not going into mass production here.
Well, we have to have enough for an entire Crunch Bowl. Come on, we've got to serve a lot of people.
I love it.
Serve pumpkin hummus at the Crunch Bowl. I love it.
Yeah, no, that's really cool.
Oh, I've got my wheels turning already now.
We absolutely love it, and just to let everyone know, we'll keep stay tuned to our channels on Missouri Healthy Schools, and even also our website, and I'll put it there for everyone. Again, the replay of this will be made available on MissouriHealthySchools.com. You can also catch it on our Twitter account as well. But right here on our website, it is a plethora of resources. We keep it up to date in very near real time. We've got great people working behind the scenes to make that happen. This is a brand new website as well, which we're really excited that we just updated this past school year. And so, this is a great place to go for all kinds of information, but it's specifically talking about what's going on right now with Farm to School and certainly the big Crunch Bowl competition. And Lisa, anything you want to add about the website?
Well, I was just going to say, we will definitely, since we did have a request for your pumpkin hummus recipe, Teresa, share that. We'll put that on the Missouri Healthy Schools website, and any other information, we'll add it there. I think the local Food for Schools grant information is on the website.
Yep.
And so we'll just get everything updated there.
Yes, lots of good information to share.
Yeah, absolutely. And Lisa, any final word? I know that this is something you've wanted for quite some time, and you came to the team, you kind of, throw it on us, last minute, although you really haven't. You've actually been asking about this for the past year, and we finally were able to put it into the schedule. And I'm going to tell you right now, this is one of the most fun podcasts I've ever been able to host. And of course, our guests, you all made it frickin' happen. I'm so honored that you all were here tonight to talk to us about the impact you're making right here in Missouri, and certainly through this Midwest region that you guys were talking about. This is really exciting news and great for our state. Just want to say thank you, and certainly on behalf of Missouri Healthy Schools.
Thank you for inviting me.
Absolutely. Lisa, you get the final word. What do you got?
Thank you so much, Guy, Jimmy, Anna, Eric, everyone. But I really don't think I should have the last word. I think Tracy should have the last word.
Tracy, you are giving us that Gipper speech that they talk about in the locker room. Give us that locker room.
Yes, we're 5 days countdown.
That's
5
right.
days to October 1st.
October 1st is 5 days away. Go to your local farmer's market, find a pear tree in your backyard, find something local to crunch, and please go register it to help Missouri win.
And there's your website in case you need it one last time. You can go right there takes less than a minute to register. And we just want to grow this thing, and certainly want to be able to share your stories, and certainly possibly have you on even a future podcast, as we love sharing about the great things going on in our state. And so with that, I want to thank everyone, and my guests in particular, for being here tonight, investing the time into something so important. We will have the replay available tomorrow morning. And yes, if you're asking me what's next, guess what? Next week at the same day on Wednesday, October 2nd at 7 p.m., we're going to have the Show Me School Health podcast. And that's actually going to be getting into some of the things with school nursing and what's going on in the world of nursing and support. And I know we're just so excited to bring that to everyone. But we put that in our school newsletter, or excuse me, into our Missouri Healthy Schools newsletter that just went out yesterday. So if you want to check for that, but we've already begun the process of getting that podcast together. So we're really excited to roll out our podcast. This is the first for the 2024 to 2025 school year. And I just want to say we kicked it off in Crunch Bowl fashion. So for our amazing guests, my name is Guy Danoff. We want to thank you all for being here on Missouri Healthy Schools Podcast Live, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.